What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Ultimate Push Car. We got the Fiat behind me here. I actually gave her a bath and got all the Texas off of her. And my boy Tito ended up painting the bumpers for me and repairing the crack in that one. Came out pretty damn good. We're gonna work today on basically getting the whole body straightened out of the car. Need to figure out something with the side skirts because Copart decides to bring you the car out on a forklift and will not let me drive it. So as you can tell, we got the side skirts separating from the front and the rear there.
The other side is just as bad.
And the other side is just as bad. So we're gonna work on getting these bumpers on. Danny cut up some Trans Am carpet over here.
She got a little bit of Brenda in her.
It is not the prettiest, but it matches, and the subwoofer is gonna go there. So we're also putting in a Kenwood with an Insignia amp. As you can tell right here.
They don't know about that amp. They ain't never seen that
Danny,
before.
how old is that amp?
That amp is from 2007. And it was 40 bucks.
Best Buy had a great deal back in the day.
1200 watt monoblock.
Which I wish we could afford to buy more because we only bought like 4 of them. But 1200 watt monoblock, $40.
1 ohm stable.
1 ohm stable. Like, I mean, you can't really beat that. So
it's been in about 4 trucks.
It's been in about 4 trucks right now. So it's going in the Fiat now. We only found 2 screws to put in here, but that's fine. The whole quality goes down on a Copart build.
Yeah.
So
it's all right.
Especially if this is for our personal use. We're not selling it. We're not, expecting anybody else to.
Good thing is we had all this stuff laying around.
Yeah, all this stuff is laying around. A lot of, low cost options going into this thing. We cleaned this stuff up as best as we could. We got to get these wood blocks off of here. This was set up in an F-150 to down fire. Obviously, we won't need to do that in here.
No.
And let me tell you, you run out of trunk space pretty quick. So we're gonna work on getting the front and rear bumpers on right now. I gotta pretty much load up the front bumper with all the lights and stuff like that. We're not gonna hard mount the front bumper. I have HIDs on the way along with some bulbs.
They already know what to do.
Brace yourselves. So I got some HIDs on the way and some yellow bulbs for the DRLs.
That's his rice.
Well, no, the yellow film's gonna be my rice too.
He has to throw his rice on everything.
I do. It's gonna look good.
Just like we got to throw a woofer and everything. We've never collectively owned a vehicle, either one of us, that has not had a woofer or 2 or 3 or 4 in it.
Yeah. The Explorer used to bang.
Yeah, that had 4.
You guys should definitely hear my truck.
Well, I mean, if your truck was here, but
when we hear
that's neither
it,
here.
then
That's
we
neither here
listen
nor
to the
there.
radio.
So we're gonna get working on this stuff and show you some progress once we get those bumpers on. All right, so we ended up deciding to start with a subwoofer install first. That way we're not leaning over the freshly painted bumpers, front and rear. We have the factory Bose amp out over here, which we figured out which were the input wires. Surprisingly, there's not a whole lot of information out on the 2012s because they were the only year with the Bose system. After that, they went to the Alpine from 2013 onward. So we almost have the line out converter figured out now.
We went ahead and contacted Ringling Brothers for the manual, but it's going to take them a couple days to send it.
So we have Robbie underneath the dash trying to find any source of light from the engine bay because there's almost literally nothing. There's almost nowhere you can run this cable through.
Hey, yeah, that light would be nice.
Well, you had a light over here, but yeah.
Well, my theory would be drill it.
No.
Moving on.
Moving on, anyway. We're going to get the factory amp bolted back up and start working on running that wiring.
All right, guys, a little bit of a check-in here. To start, if you guys ever want to put a sound system in a Fiat, I would advise you, number 1, don't even buy a Fiat. Number 2, take it somewhere. Don't try to do it yourself.
This is what I've resorted to because this and this didn't work. I broke my blade.
It's almost impossible to run the wire through the firewall. This car's so damn small. Nobody's hands fit anywhere. It's absolutely.
It's how many dudes does it take to run a power wire through a Fiat?
It's about to get a hole with a grommet.
It's about
And
to
I'm
get
a
hole.
size 7.
And a half.
Robbie's a man-child.
My baby.
We did, however, get the high and low in, got the ground all wired up, you know. I've done all my job, but these guys haven't been able to accomplish their one and only task of running a power wire.
How long have you been trying to help us with that?
I've been helping you guys for about 30 minutes, so.
And how much further have we gotten?
We're in the same place. So evidently, it's not the three of us, it's the car. We're being defeated by a clown car.
So I'm over here polishing some lights because I'm frustrated with this already. So at least I can get the whole front bumper put together and on the car today.
We'll see what we can accomplish here as far as this system and getting it installed.
All right, we got a little bit caught up in the work there, but we got the entire subwoofer system done. Guys, how's a Fiat for running wiring?
I don't want to talk about it. I'll tell you this. I was ready for a fire because I did some of it, but
There's no fires.
look,
We're somewhat professional.
with these tiny hands, I didn't enjoy a minute of it. All right.
Probably plugged in the remote wire to the fuse box.
Yeah, that was it.
Show them.
Low voltage reference. So
Show them.
real big chance of fire there, guy. Anyway, we're gonna pop the trunk real quick. Alright. The finest Best Buy Insignia. 1200 watt monoblock. Kenwood 12 inch. Got it L bracketed down so it's not moving anywhere. Not the prettiest, but it works.
It's Harbor Freight's finest for you.
We did the
The
headrest
bracket was
delete.
from Home Depot.
We did the
Oh,
head.
never mind.
Show them the headrest delete.
Oh no, Copart did that for us though.
Yeah, it's a headrest delete.
Yeah, Copart did the headrest delete for us. Man, we really have to vacuum this. Hold on, I'm gonna show the people your fine cuts here.
Show them.
Hold on, no, look at this. You don't even have it covered right now.
Hang on a second, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at that. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Good as new.
We had to put some of Brenda.
Yeah, the carpet actually came from Brenda. We had it laying around and it kind of fit, not really. Danny made it fit with a few holes. It's a Copart car, it's all right. So,
We did it for our fans, so a part of their car could be in our
How
push car
much?
forever.
how much audio can we get away with without the video getting copyrighted?
I think like 4 or 5 seconds.
4 or 5 seconds. All right, we'll turn it on real quick. Hold on, you gotta close the hatch because that's when it sounds good. Oh, wow. They straightened this out with something. We are gonna be the most obnoxious people at the track. All right, other than the subwoofer install, we did get the front bumper, pretty much everything installed in it, all buttoned up. It's not gonna be bolted on. Right now, I'm waiting on my HIDs. I got some 6Ks for the headlights, 3Ks for the fogs, and some yellow bulbs for the DRLs. But it does look very nice. The car is really coming together and looking a lot more complete. Not necessarily as nasty from her Texas trip when you guys first saw her. A lot of stuff on this car is plastic welded and riveted. So there's a little bit of 3M and Crazy Glue on this car. But, oh, I haven't shown him the intake. Look. Can you get the hood prop, Robbie? So, this is just a universal clamp-on K&N filter on the end of the stock intake tube. The factory air box, I took the filter out. That way it still directs fresh air to it. Makes it a little bit louder during cruise. And actually made the blow-off valve a little bit louder as well. Want to start it up? Slightly obnoxious, it's a downpipe install. Give her a second, man. I'll go up to the front of the car now so you can hear the blow-off valve. Or plate, whatever you want to call it. Believe me when we say that we are gonna be the most obnoxious people at the track.
Ain't no doubt about it.
So, like we said, that's not bolted on yet. Either way, we're gonna get this thing on the lift. That way we can go ahead and fully install the rear bumper, since we did finish putting all the OEM accessories back on it. Got this clamped down because we're gluing it right now. Obviously, we're trying to keep the cost as low as possible. This is just a push car and something cool for us to hang out in the track. All right, so we are the farthest thing from a body shop, but I'm pretty happy with it. What do you guys think?
It looks better than it was when we picked it up in Texas.
I mean, I don't, that doesn't say very much, okay? But this is how we got the back bumper fitting. I mean,
Don't worry about that little guy.
it's about as good as we can get it. But I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
We got the exhaust to sit pretty even. We did have to, as you saw in the previous video, weld the exhaust hanger on. Our first welding adventure. It works. So, I mean, everything's lined up in the rear. These are the tiniest wheels I have ever seen in my life. This looks like a go-kart.
Show them this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Can you get a rep going?
Let me throw it to you, Rob. Here.
Just throw it.
What the?
We're playing catch with a set of Abarth wheels.
See if I can. I'm a weak fellow, but. Ah, yeah. We can do this all day. Oh, man. Wow.
Jesus. So we're gonna go ahead and put the wheels on, get this thing back down on the ground. The last thing we're gonna have to figure out here, which is actually a pretty common issue, as I've seen in the Abarth forums, the side skirts separating. Basically, the only thing that holds them on is gonna be like a 3M tape up here. So we're gonna have to really clean this area, use a good adhesive to get this thing to stick. So we're gonna throw these wheels on, get this thing on the ground. So now that we got the Abarth all on the ground, the rear bumper's all wrapped up, as you guys saw. That's pretty much gonna conclude this episode. Next episode is gonna be, we got some underglow on the way actually. So,
Hi, Mom.
Danny loves this car. So we got some underglow on the way for this thing. I already have the HIDs wrapped up and the front bumper installed. I'm not gonna bore you guys with installing the front bumper. You already know what it looks like. And we have to cut the springs still, because this ride height needs to get right. This is sitting way too high for our standards.
I also said wheel spacers, but apparently no.
Buy them, Robbie.
Yeah, you buy them.
Okay. When I show up with a 3-inch wheel spacer, I want to see it put on. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Hey. So with that being said, the next episode is going to be the underglow. I actually have a rear wiper delete on the way, and cutting the springs to get this thing sitting right. So this is going to end it for episode 2 of Ultimate Push Car. We'll catch you guys next time.